This is the CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Christopher Saunders, and I'm pleased to have on from Colchester, Connecticut. He does go to Bacon Academy. It is a public school, not a private school, even though the academy kind of
Yeah.
throws some people for a loop. He does play baseball, second short right-handed pitcher. I appreciate Coach Moyer being able to make this work and get this contact going. Christopher Lusignan is on with me right now. Chris, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
You know, it's always great to be able to have. So I broadcast all sports, but my first love is baseball, right? It goes baseball and then football and basketball and then everything else, right? And baseball to me is one of those sports that I've always believed, regardless if I'm broadcasting or when I coached or when I played, it's like a chess match. You can't really kind of go all in the first. You got to kind of play the game, right? And for you, when you play the game, because you're entering your senior year, is that kind of how you view the game as well? Like checkers, like chess, or neither?
Uh, I just play the game how I've always been taught to play it. I play it with passion. Um, I just go with the flow pretty much.
You know, that passion word is something that if you talked about baseball 15, 20, 30 years ago, right? It's kind of that old school mentality. If you hit a home run, put your head down, run around the bases. If you strike a dude out, don't celebrate. Go right to the dugout. But now you're starting to see the game. I mean, I'm sure you watched the game, right?
Yeah.
Otani, Acuna,
Mhm.
I can go on and on and on with just guys who have a lot of flair. Julio Rodriguez with the Mariners. Is
Yeah.
that something that has kind of been since you've grown up realistically during the time of the motto that MLB has, which is let the kids play? Is that something that you've kind of taken with you as you've grown up?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of this generation has with those rising guys in MLB today. It kind of like
Mhm.
changes the way my generation plays the game and views the game.
So as you were growing up, was baseball like, was that something that you were attracted to very quickly, or did it come later on to you?
Well, yeah, I come from a big baseball family. My mom was like an all-American softball and baseball player, actually, and then my dad coached college at several colleges. So I've right away, right from birth, I was exposed to the game and I really fell in love with it.
That's so basically it's like as soon as you were old enough to be able to swing a bat, which maybe was like one or
Yeah,
two, you were already taking hacks.
yeah, yeah. My first word was ball, actually.
Really before mom or
Yeah,
dad.
yeah, yeah,
See, that's when you know that you have yourself a gem. When your
yeah,
son or daughter first word is the sport that they end up playing. That's awesome,
yeah.
dude. So being around that, right? I mean, again, I don't know if you were someone who was young and kind of picking their brains, but they must have been pretty impressionable on you as you were growing up, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, my mom and dad always coached me up until I was 12, 13, and they definitely left an impact on my game.
So looking at both of them, because now I'm sure your father played baseball as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so but we'll stick to the coaching aspect. Your mom was a great athlete, all the awards there. Your father was a coach. It kind of gives you kind of two perspectives, right, as you're growing up, because you got the
Yeah.
coaching side, seeing the game from
Mhm.
a coaching perspective, and then you have your mom who sees it from a player's perspective. That's pretty unique. And like, talk to me about that a little bit.
Um, I don't know. I don't really know. You know, um, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Uh,
So
uh,
well, I'll kind of simplify it. So we'll go to your mom first. As a former player, right? As you were growing up, was she kind of helping you with certain things from a player's perspective, being a former player? Did she see that kind of stuff? That's what I mean. As
yeah,
you,
she definitely did. She taught me all the basics. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, with how much the game has changed
Mhm.
over the years, like you were talking about earlier, she taught me the basics, and then once I got once I got more advanced, like with the little things in my swing, little things in my pitching mechanics, I
Mhm.
kind of had to go elsewhere for that. So that's why they really could only really help me. Well, my mom could only really help me up until the age of like 12 or 13. And
Mhm.
then it got like, you know,
So when we look at now your father's perspective, right? Being a
Mhm.
coach, being within the game, being around the college game, things are a little bit different. But being able to, as I'm sure you went to games when you could, and
Mm.
obviously he was helping you when he had opportunities to.
Oh
Um,
no, he coached in college before I was born.
oh, before you were
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
So yeah, he
So
was always around and stuff. Yeah.
okay, so perfect. So he probably took what he learned from the college aspect and was able to help you as you kind of matured through the game. Talk to me about that a
Yeah.
little
Obviously, I think all kids could say this. It gets annoying when your dad's coaching you throughout your childhood, but he was obviously the one that exposed me to baseball right away.
bit.
He taught me, like I said before, all the basics, taught me almost everything I know today. And then yeah, it was a fun house growing up because like I could never escape it. It was just all we talked about was baseball, how I did,
Hmm.
about the game and stuff. So
So I'm sure this has been talked about at the dinner table, but when it's you,
yep, every night. Yep.
every night, yep. So who was the best athlete amongst the three? I'm sure each one of you would say yourself, right?
Yeah, I think I might have to go. Uh, we always talk. I think I might have to go me, to be honest. I don't know.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I might have to give it to my mom. She was really, I mean, yeah, she was really good growing up. But
Where did she play at?
um, where'd you play? Georgian Court.
Where's that located? Well, I won't ask you that because
Uh,
I'm sure she's busy.
uh, New York, I think. I don't know. New Jersey. She said New
Jersey.
Jersey. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Stayed in the kind of east part of the country. Very cool. Awesome. So, as we've kind of talked about, obviously what your parents were able to do to help you as you were growing up, right?
Mhm.
Um, when did you start to feel like the game started to slow down for you? Obviously, you're at the level right now where if you have an opportunity to play college, that's another level. Then you keep moving up, right? But for
Mhm.
you, when did you feel like the game became something where you didn't have to think as much? You just reacted. You let your talent eat, basically.
Definitely, I would say in the most recent years,
Mhm.
um, probably around my sophomore year of high school. I was always I don't want to say an hesitant player, but
Mhm.
I wasn't. And then once I like got a real feel for the game and
Mhm.
started to really like break out around my freshman. I mean, I was always like throwing hard for my age. I was always the best on, well, I don't want to say the best on my team, but I was always like, one of the better players.
Mhm.
And I think I really like now I don't like you said, I don't really have to think about it when I'm doing it.
When I looked at your profile, and again, when I was playing baseball, I was taught, and again, this is how crazy it is because how the game has changed, right?
Mm,
Coaches would tell players, you're staying at one position. You could play two, but when you get to college, you're going to go to one. But then we started to see guys kind of do a dual threat. I call that in baseball, playing two positions, right?
do
And
it.
you saw, Lorenzen was kind of the first. Remember, Micah Owens was pretty good at swinging the bat. Madison Bumgarner with the
Yeah,
Giants
yeah,
won the World Series. So, and now we're seeing Ohtani, who's
yeah,
being able to not only pitch, but does more than just hit. He can play position. But the point I'm
yeah.
trying to make to you is being able to play multiple positions and stuff. Do you take that as like a sign of not just pride, but like, I can do this and I'm going to show it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a true, you know, when I've talked to college coaches, they always say that
Hmm.
it shows that you're athletic and you're really like meant for the game of baseball
Hmm.
and, you're an athlete.
For you, because again, I think it's still something. I mean, they're even in Major League Baseball trying to figure out Otani's routine, right? How is he able to do it as far as pitch and hit? What is, his routine like? For you, how are you able to focus on the multiple positions plus being able to pitch? So basically keeping your body physically in shape, but also making sure you get the necessary reps, but don't do too much where then it starts to affect your overall health as far as being able to play every day.
I just focus on what I'm doing at the time. I focus on if I'm pitching, I'll focus on my pitching. I try not to let it get in my head. And uh definitely in most recent years, I've been getting a lot better at that, and I could just go out there and just like put everything behind me and just focus on the moment.
So when you were playing when you were younger, and then obviously to your senior year right now, have you always played multiple positions
Yeah,
and pitched?
yeah,
So would you say that doing that helped you? Because let's be honest, right? Some some coaches, when you're younger, kind of if they don't see it working, they scrap it and they go right to where you're doing your best. And that's
mhm,
because that's just how they coach. Others will let you kind of maturate, let you go through the growing pains, and then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But they let you get the reps. Do you feel like the reps that you had when you were younger, trying to learn playing two positions, if not more, and then pitching, do you feel like that helped you as far as getting that routine, which what seems like you have right now?
yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I've been playing both all my life, and
Mm-hmm.
I I like to think that I've excelled at both for the most part. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just something that it's just something I do.
I want to look at last season really quick. You guys won 11-9. You beat a team
Yep.
I know pretty well in Seymour, part of the NVL, the
Yep.
Seymour Wildcats, and then you
Yep.
lost to Northwestern. That was a pretty
Yeah.
high
Yeah.
scoring game on their side. But for you to get past, I know you mentioned the previous season was a very good season for Bacon
It
Academy.
was. Yeah.
Just kind of talk to me about the program a little bit for people who may not know where Bacon Academy is.
Um, it's definitely a school I love to play at. Um, let's see. It's my freshman year I went in, didn't play a whole lot. I think I only got like 11 at bats, but I was exposed. I mean, obviously going to high school is a little brutal, so it was a new experience. But I think the program has really grown over the years. Like I said, the coaching change kind of was I don't know how to put it. It just hopefully we can get the old coach back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's gonna happen, or I don't know if that's gonna happen. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't really put out much, but yeah, I think that with the really good year last year, I think we could definitely bring that back. Hopefully this next year. We've obviously, like all high schools, we've lost every year. We lose a little bit of talent. We
Mm-hmm.
gain a little bit of talent um, coming in from the lower grades, but I think we could definitely put on a show like we did last year.
Do you think because of obviously what you do during the summer and having the background that you do with your family, right? And I would think that you've been able, to be brought up the right way, and it seems
Mm.
like you have. Do you think because of that, it kind of allows you, even if I'm sure you want to be a leader. Some guys don't want to be a
Yeah.
leader. They just want to lead by example and go do their thing. Do you feel like the team is looking at you as a leader, or have they already done that?
Yeah, our coach named captains for next year, and
Okay.
I'm one of them. So, like I said, I hopefully we could turn it around this year. I know 11-9 sounds like a pretty good season,
Mhm.
but from the previous season before that, it just didn't really feel right as a player of Bacon Academy. So I definitely look to turn it around next year.
And I would think too, with you being able to come back as one of the key cogs, that has to
Mm,
be something that, and being named captain, will kind of keep things going as you move into your senior season
yeah,
next, right?
yeah.
Now, do you play any other sports, or is it just baseball?
No, it's just baseball. I used to play rec basketball. Um, I definitely am like athletic, so I'm good at other sports, but I don't do it. I don't like do it for high school or anything.
Okay. So then the question I would have for you then is, how do you like, do you give yourself, so right now summer baseball is over. I know you mentioned that you have a showcase coming up to go do your thing,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
to give yourself time to enjoy being a kid
Mhm.
and being able to enjoy the high school experience, are you
Yeah.
able to kind of allow yourself time to get away? I'm not saying to throw away the glove until spring,
Yeah.
but I'm saying just get away for a couple weeks, say, I love you, glove, I love you, cleats, but I'll talk to you in a month.
Yeah.
I just want to go do something else for a little bit. Do you do that or no?
Yeah, I think I definitely do. I mean, even in the past 2 weeks and then in the following couple weeks,
Mhm.
where I haven't been playing baseball as much, I still go to the field. Like I said, my mom used to play used to play, like she was an All-American softball player. So
Mhm.
she has a good arm. She brings me to the field, pitches to me almost every day. But other than that, I think I do a pretty good job of um, still like being a kid,
Mhm.
enjoying my summer and, hanging out with friends, stuff like that.
Now, when she pitches to you, are you is she throwing the heat a little bit? Are you
Yeah,
missing some swings?
definitely. I mean, I do. She does. She's lost some of it over the years. So every couple of years we have to move the L screen closer and closer.
Mhm.
But yeah, she definitely has it.
Now that you said that, she may use one of those last couple bullets of pitches that she has just to make sure she shows you that she still got it. You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Chris, I really appreciate you coming on. This has been a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Before I let you go, what expectations? Now I know obviously the team. I've heard it. It's obvious. Don't want to go 11-9 again. Want to cut down the losses by preferably sounds like for you maybe 9, give or take.
Yeah.
But what kind of expectations do you have for yourself? Because this is a big season. You've got college opportunities potentially. You've got obviously your senior year, your last year wearing a Bacon Academy uniform and competing in the CIAC. What kind of expectations do you have for yourself?
Um, Obviously, I'm just looking to have fun, put everything out there, put everything I have left of high school baseball out there on the field.
Hmm.
Obviously, I hope to perform really well
Hmm.
and serve Bacon Academy well in my last year on the diamond.
Are there any awards like ECC first team, anything like
Oh,
that in the state?
yeah, I definitely hope to get that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Hey, you know what? It'd be great to be able, and I'm sure it's happened in the past, but I know it doesn't happen a lot. But seeing a player who can play multiple positions and pitch get all ECC, first state, stuff like that, that's always pretty cool to see. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So, but hey, Chris, I appreciate you coming on again. A lot of fun. Stay in touch. I'd love to get you back on maybe before the season, but this was a lot of fun.
All right. Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Anytime. Now, wrap things up here in the CT Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm Returning Find Them All. Enjoy the day, everybody, and be well.